In the previous story, Justice League was caught up in a rupture occurred in time-space continuum. The result was, League finding themselves 60 years back in time, in the era of European imperialism. But something is definitely wrong. At present day, in the city of Cannes, Allied forces are under heavy attack while trying to withdraw their forces from the beach. If you look into the history books, this is the Battle of Normandy, which in this case has turned upside down and the Allied forces are retreating. The remaining League members, Superman, Hawkgirl, and Flash work hard to evacuate the troops. Flash is appalled to hear that Hawkgirl left the Green Lantern behind and runs back to find him. In the meantime, Green Lantern, who has just managed to escape from the war wheels, has been able to sneak away from the prying eyes of enemy soldiers, but at the end he is knocked down into a muddy trench where he stays hidden. As Superman and Hawkgirl work, a new threat arrives, a flight of Messerschmitt aircrafts, on a shooting rampage. Superman and Hawkgirl take off to fight the planes, and they are aided by the surprise appearance of a squadron of ace fighters, the Blackhawks. Soon they defeat the enemy flights in the air battle and chase them away. The Blackhawk introduces himself, and his team, as an independent multinational team of pilots fighting against the Nazis from many of Nazi-occupied countries in Europe, including France, Holland, Norway and Poland. He asks for the League's help, and Superman agrees to meet at their island headquarters. Green Lantern awakens and runs away to hide under a carriage of Nazi truck to escape. Soon, he is found by Easy Company, a squad of American commandos. Their job is to find and destroy the hidden airfield from which the Germans are planning to launch the invasion. Bulldozer, the hothead of the company, is skeptical about Lantern's usefulness without his ring and tries to push him around. Lantern quickly proves that he is anything but useless, easily throwing the larger dozer to the ground. Lantern informs the squad that he served in the United States Marine Corps. Suitably impressed, unit leader Sergeant Rock officially welcomes Lantern to Easy Company, and together they set back out on their mission. In Berlin, Vandal Savage interrogates John in his laboratory. John assumes that Savage, like themselves, is from the future. On the contrary, Savage explains, the laptop he has was sent back in time by his future self. On it is a message from the older Savage explaining that he realized that World War II was the best opportunity for him to achieve world domination. The computer contains schematics of advanced technology, as well as information about the Allies' future plans, such as the date for the planned invasion of Normandy. Savage turns John over to his main general to be tortured for information. 1,000 miles away, Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman wait for his contact, Ernst, at an abandoned French farmhouse. Wonder Woman expresses surprise that an ordinary man, without special powers, is willing to risk his life for the war. She is reminded of Batman, whom she harbors romantic feelings for. He shrugs and says that, some things are worth dying for. As Wonder Woman and Steve prepares to enjoy a passionate moment, suddenly, German forces appear. Steve quickly deduces that Ernst was captured and gave him away. Steve shares a kiss with Wonder Woman and tries to make a diversion so Wonder Woman can escape. But instead of running away, Wonder Woman almost single-handedly defeats them. One of the terrified soldiers discloses Ernst's location after being bound by the lasso of truth. On the Black Hawk Island, Black Hawk explains that they're planning a bombing run on a large German factory, but they need the League's help to disable its anti-aircraft defense, and Superman and others agrees to help without any hesitation. Green Lantern, now dressed in army clothes of Easy Company, attacks an enemy base with the others. They nearly lose one of their members due to Lantern's negligence, but the captain bombs the enemy shelter and wins the fight. In Berghof, Savage returns to his lab to find John has escaped, and the laptop which has all the important information has been destroyed. Savage orders the planned invasion to proceed immediately. Much to the annoyance of Savage, he is told that this is impossible while the stolen communicator is still missing. Wonder Woman and Steve rescue Ernst from captivity, but the scientist warns them it is a trap as a number of war wheels and tanks appear, surrounding the jail. Thinking ahead, Wonder Woman breaks off the outer casing of the communicator, then bundles Steve and Ernst under cover and defends them from the artillery fire. In the ensuing destruction, the jail is destroyed into rubble. The soldiers find the broken casing in the rubble. The High Command is informed that the communicator has been destroyed, and Savage orders the final invasion, Operation Endgame, to begin. With the help of Superman, Hawkgirl and the Flash, the Blackhawks destroy the factory, after the League members destroyed the anti-aircraft artillery systems. But Flash runs in and evacuates the workers before they bomb the factory. In the ruins, they find a jet engine, another piece of advanced technology which confuses them. Just then John arrives and explains its origin. While trying to work out their exact location after running into a hill which doesn't appear on the maps, Easy Company finds the enemy airfield hidden under an artificial hill, just as the invasion force is preparing to leave. Savage arrives to take personal command. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Easy Company opens fire, and the planes make a rapid takeoff. To the others' astonishment, Lantern runs out and boards Savage's flagship. Meanwhile, Ernst taps into the communicator and intercepts the invasion signal. When Steve asks where in England it will land, Ernst replies that the target of the invasion is not England anymore.
They're invading America.
Ernst tries to warn the Allied forces through the communicator. Wonder Woman prepares to fly off, but Steve asks what if they never meet again. Wonder Woman kisses him for the second time, and he wishes her luck.
Good luck, Angel.
The Blackhawks land and tell the League that they've also received word of the invasion. Flash streaks west, running across the Atlantic Ocean to warn the U.S. Navy convoy led by USS Abraham Lincoln, while the rest of the League flies to intercept the planes that are going towards America. On board Savage's plane, Lantern sabotages critical systems. The plane loses radio contact followed by engine power and starts to slow down. Without instructions from their leader, the rest of the planes also slow down, believing their leader must have a reason. Somehow Lantern is captured and tortured by Savage, but just then the League attacks, and Savage's planes return fire. At the peak of the air battle, Wonder Woman arrives, regrouping with Superman, Hawkgirl, and John. Together, they manage to take down and destroy several planes before Savage's flagship restores communication. By the order of Führer, the planes ignite their afterburners, outpacing the League members. However, the invasion force runs headlong into anti-aircraft fire from the U.S. Navy ships, warned by Flash. While the plane's crew is distracted, Green Lantern overpowers his guards, and shoots the controls, sending it down. Finally, as he struggles with Savage, John, who is nearby, senses his presence and tells Hawkgirl. She flies to the plane, smashes open the windshield, and lifts Lantern out, just before it crashes into the ocean. Vandal Savage is last seen going down under a rush of water. With Savage gone, and their numbers decimated, the invasion force turns about and heads back to Germany, but the remaining planes are set upon by the Blackhawks. Their job done, the League flies back to Europe. Back in Berlin, the High Command receives news of Savage's defeat and apparent death. General Hoffmann, Savage's most vocal critic, immediately moves to have Adolf Hitler, who is frozen in a cryogenic tube, reinstated as their leader. The League arrives back in the present just before the time portal closes. The normal Batman is there to greet them. Superman is so relieved that he hugs him, much to the amusement of the group and to the surprise of Batman. Wonder Woman feels sad after parting with Steve Trevor, and later she visits a retirement home and finds Steve, now an old man. He smiles, recognizing his one true love after decades waiting for her, and they share a moment. Let us salute the heroes who fought the World War, to bring peace and prosperity to the world and humankind. The D-Day operation of June 6, 1944 brought together the land, air, and sea forces of the Allied armies in what became known as the largest invasion force in human history. The operation, given the codename Overlord, delivered 5 naval assault divisions to the beaches of Normandy, France. The beaches were given the code names Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. The invasion force included 7,000 ships and landing craft manned by over 195,000 naval personnel from 8 Allied countries. Almost 133,000 troops from the United States, the British Commonwealth, and their allies, landed on D-Day. Casualties from these countries during the landing numbered 10,300. By June 30, over 850,000 men, 148,000 vehicles, and 570,000 tons of supplies had landed on the Normandy shores. Fighting by the brave soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied forces' Western Front, and Russian forces on the Eastern Front, led to the defeat of German Nazi forces. Thank you all the heroes. You will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.